In this tutorial, I'm just going to show the basic steps on how to create a door. So what you're going to do is start by opening a new family. Then you're going to scroll down to generic model wall-based. Then you gotta let it load, which usually takes a second. Create opening. Then it's going to make you change your placement side, change your view to placement side. And I'm just going to create a single opening door, which is 3 feet by 7 feet. And I'm just going to go all the way around. Then I'll hit the green check mark right here. And I've got myself an opening. You can tell because when I hit this rectangle right here and click realistic, the wall's colored, but there's a hole right here. So what I'm going to do now is create an extrusion. So how I'm going to do that is by going to the left viewpoint and click extrusion. And I'm going to just create one side at a time, just because it helps me with my thinking process. So I'm going to go 7 feet, not 7 feet, 7 inches on the bottom, 7 inches on the top. Now, I'm really just focusing on this side right here. This is just helping me have a point of reference. So now I'm gonna go to the bottom right here and go to a 135-degree angle. But now I'm realizing that I need to have the point that I end up at in the middle so that it could be all even. So real quick, I'm just going to go to the middle of this and just make a line down, and then do the align sideways. I think what I'm going to do is change it to be like this first. Sideways, then, or it's a lot of moving stuff around because you are trying to work 2D but also 3D at the same time. So I'm just gonna experiment and try this line like this and then go immediately back like that. Then probably a foot would do. And then do the same thing all over again. So I'm just going to draw a line to this point, to that, just down, so I can make sure it's all even. Like that, and back. So I'm going to delete this line just by clicking on it and hitting the delete key. Then I'm going to go from the bottom point and go as far down as I can, but without touching it. Then on the bottom, I'll create a line reference right here. And this time start from that point, click, make 135-degree angle. From this point, make a 45-degree angle. And my line is overlapping right here, so I'm just gonna click on it, drag this dot up, and then delete my reference line. So now I have a complete, it's all closed off, all the lines are meeting. So I'm just gonna hit OK and see what that makes by moving my view to over here. So right now, what I made is not in the right spot. So I'm just gonna simply just move it over using these little arrow lines. And I'm gonna turn it to realistic and hit shift to move it around. So this is what I have so far. but I'm gonna go to reference level and I'm gonna move these points on each side by 3 inches. But detail line. And when you're in a family, you can't use detail line. But I really want this to be moved 3 inches, but I'll just have to do it later. So now I'm going to create another view. Another extrusion. And this time it's going to be pretty plain. I just got to figure out, where do I want it? I think the best way to put it is on the reference level for the walls going up. So I'm just going to create 3 inches this way, go down. Now where this part's going to be a little difficult because I want there to be an angle. So I'm going to go 2 inches from the corner point to this. Then I'll click on make another 45-degree angle. So this one's a little too far, so I'm just gonna click on it and hit the left arrow dash until it meets up. So I'm just gonna hit check and see if it works with what I've created so far. And it does. As you can see, there's a little line right here, making the corners meet up and go down. So the only thing is, I don't like how small this is. So I'm going to go back to it, edit the extrusion, and move it by, have this be 3 inches from here to there. So I'm gonna go 3, see where my 3-inch mark is, and just make a little line there. Then I will select over just these 2 lines right here, click, and just move it. Right now it seems like the move tool isn't really working for me, so I'll just have to delete the lines that I made and go back. Okay, so now from this corner point, 45-degree angle, go up, lines will meet, delete, and move the lines that cross. So now click the green check mark, go to the view again. Now it's a lot bigger. So I'm gonna click on the extrusion and just drag it all the way up to meet that point. So now what I'm gonna do is just take what I made and just flip it. It's faster and just makes it so I don't have to create a new one. So then now it's flipped. Now I'm gonna explain how I did that real quick. I just clicked on it and modify extrusion, mirror, pick axis, and I just picked the point across from it, whatever point. It doesn't really matter. So now I'm gonna click on it, click on the move tool, and just drag it all the way over here. Go to view 1, and you'll see that now it's over here. Now I still don't like how short these side things are, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna leave it. Now I'm gonna, real quick, I'm gonna insert a door handle. So how I'm gonna do that is just click load into the, click load family, go to doors, hardware, and any of these handles will work. So I'm just gonna choose handle domestic. So now I go into, I gotta figure out where did that end up at, the handle that I inserted. Component, create component will have that loaded in there. So then you could just click and it adds it in there. But you'll have to find the doorknob afterwards, just because it doesn't know what plane you're doing it at. So I'm gonna try to see if going to a different plane will make it load in better. But it looks like the only view I can do it is view 1. So now it should, there should be door knobs in there. It's really difficult that it has to be that way, but you can easily, once you have it selected, just try to fiddle around with where it's at, and it'll get outside of the wall. See, the inserting a family into a family is a little difficult just because it doesn't load correctly all the time. So I'm just dragging it to where it needs to be. See, right now it's still a bit off. So I'm just gonna continue selecting over it and dragging it over here. Right now, it's even flipped the wrong way. So we want it on one side of the door. So I'm just gonna mirror it to the other side, take this one and move it right here. So that should, up, looks like it needs to be moved just a slight bit more. So keep on moving using the move tool until it gets into place the way it needs to be. So now, yes, now it's showing up on the reference level. So now I can easily just click on it and move it right there. So now we've got ourselves a door with a little bit of trim. And when you just mess around with the door, it takes a long while, but eventually, as you're working on it, you'll end up getting a door that looks a lot like this one, the one that I just opened up. Oop. Right now I'm opening my view of the door that I created a while ago. And I'm just gonna turn off realistic just so you can see what it looks like. It'll have a whole lot of lines and it's got little points up. And to make all this takes a long while, but for this door in the tutorial, I just did a really, really basic door, not all that pretty, but once you add the material over it, it looks a whole lot better. And that's my tutorial.